Contact, building 14.
Roger, moving.
Move.
Set.
Moving.
Move.
Set.
Moving.
Move.
Set.
Moving.
Move. Set.
All right, so one of the things that we're going to go over today is bounding. There's two different types of bounding, but we're not going to get into the nitty-gritty of that. We're just going to go over the basic idea of basically what bounding is. This is a fire and maneuver tactic that actually you can find in the infantry handbook. So the theory behind bounding is you're trying to either gain ground or regress backwards. We're just going to do the part where we're actually going to go forward. So this is for you. You can do this with just two guys. And the main things, the key points to this, is there's one person laying down a base of fire, and another person that's actually advancing forward and maneuvering. Okay, so make sure you keep that in mind. So we're going to do a first kind of little preset when we actually initiate contact or get contact. First kind of steps that we would do. Okay, so we're going to in this simulation we're going to go over. We're having contact coming from basically my 12 o'clock, right in between the two buildings in the back there, and we're going to maneuver through this little oil drum here to try and close with and get close and kill the threat. All right. Contact front.
Roger.
Pew, pew, pew. Moving.
Move.
Move.
Bang, bang. Bang, bang.
Right. So, right at the very end there, you heard me, like before I actually moved, I said moving. That's to me to let Corey know that I'm intending to move. All right, so that way he knows that I'm actually going to advance forward so that he can begin his base of fire. Once I actually got to the point, I said set, meaning that's indicating to Corey that I'm set in my position and I'm ready to lay down a base of fire for you. The important thing about when you say set, it's not the fact that when you get to your point you say set. It's actually when you're there, your gun is up and you're ready to fire and actually lay down that base of fire. That is when you say set, because when you're conducting like an offensive kind of operation or movement, that when you say set, the action has to be quick. So as soon as I would hear set, I'd begin to move. All right, and if my partner's not entirely set yet and not ready to lay down that base of fire, I get hit. Okay. So now, go back. I say, set. Pew, pew, pew.
Moving.
Move. Pew, 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 pew.
Set.
Pew. Moving.
Move. Bang, bang. Bang, bang.
Now for demonstrative purposes, what you just saw here, we wouldn't normally do this bounding kind of maneuver this close and this compact inside of space. Because obviously we want spacing just in case someone wants to counter that and throw a thunder bead, then we both get hit. So for future reference, we just did that just for demonstration's sake. For demonstration's sake, there we go. English. One of the key notes to note about when you're doing bounding, either forward or backwards or any movements that you're going to see in this video, is that there's always one person that is moving, there's one person that's laying down a base of fire and maneuver, right? So one of the other, and then the second key point is that you need to communicate with your team and always listening for that intent. So whether you're beginning to initiate the bounding, the person that's going to actually initiate the bounding, you have to communicate to your team member. You can't just go off and do it. That's why you're moving. And then in some instances, because my experience with CQC, so when you say moving, you declare intent, and the other person will say move, saying go ahead, execute that. So that way the movement's happening and everyone knows exactly what is going on. We're all on the same page. Heavy contact on the left, peel right. Ready to move?
Ready to move.
All right, I'm moving. Last man. Pew, pew. Set.
Moving.
Move. Set. Moving. Left man.
Set. Moving. Set.
Moving, I'm going to cross in front. Cross in
Roger.
front.
Bang, bang.
Set.
Moving.
So the maneuver you guys just watched is called peeling. And for some unknown reason to me, and the infantry annual peeling is referring to movements left and right. It's, in theory, it's basically the same thing as bounding, but you're moving left and right versus forward and backward. So we're going to quickly kind of go over this. It's the same principles as before. You're going to, there's always one person that's going to move, or if you had a large amount of people, you had one person move, 3 people laying down a base of fire. You can still do this with only 2 guys. All right. And there's a little bit of a difference in communication, but I'll go over that here in a bit. So we see a large enemy force. Let's say, for example, the whole entire enemy team is over here to the left, and we're going to peel back over to our right to follow, get back into a more advantageous position. All right. So I'm going to initiate the contact. Large contact left. Pew pew. Peel right. Pew pew. Moving.
Roger.
Moving.
Move.
Pew pew. Last man. Set. Pew, pew.
Moving.
Pew. Move. Pew, pew. Pew, pew.
Last man. Set.
Pew. All right. So the difference in communication protocol between bounding and peeling is that you heard us say last man. If you run with more than 2 people, because usually you're all going to be in a line, the last person, or the person that's going to move, is going to go run past the person that's right inside them and say last man. What that indicates is that person is the last man on that flank, meaning he's up next to move. And then all the other communication procedures apply. So once I get to my position, I get set, and then we continue with the peel until we're in a better position and safe. Well, I hope you guys found this video and the topics that we covered today particularly useful. Please actually use these because they will help your game. We'd like to thank River City Airsoft for letting us come out here and actually film it. And I'd like to thank Corey for coming out and being my battle buddy today.
Anytime.